Not yet. Not yet. I see yesterday's. I should just do that one again. And there we go. Hi, there's someone here. Hello. We're now live. I just got the announcement. Very enjoyable. So I guess I really should start the day with May the 4th be with you. And I have to admit that recently I rewatched the last 3 Star Wars, the most recent ones that were made. And there's one line in there that I would like to point out that I thought was pretty significant. I played it back a couple of times so I could hear it. It's the moment when the new main character is named Rey, and she's heading off basically to, save the universe. And Princess Leia, who is about to die, but they don't know this at this moment, she gives her a hug goodbye. I imagine they thought it was probably the last time that they would see each other. And she says to her, "Don't be afraid of who you are. Don't be afraid of who you are." And I just thought that was incredible advice for all of us. Don't be afraid of who you are. Which brings us to Yesod and Gvura Sheba Yesod, which is discipline or strength within bonding or like foundation. And I think of don't be afraid of who you are as kind of the foundations of who you are. That each of us has something that is part of our accident of birth, right? I have grandparents that were something in this world that was passed down to my parents, that has been passed down to me. And for me, generational foundations are so apparent in everything I see in my kids, what I see in myself, what I see in my parents, what I see new of my grandparents. Interestingly, I don't really know as much about the generation before them, but I do know that music is something that's been for many, many generations in my family. So it doesn't seem like a stretch to say that I love music because I just do. There's a foundation there. And so each of us have a foundation of something that is kind of inside of us. Gvura, as part of that foundation, is the discipline of it. That it's not just to have it, but how does my discipline support it? I could have been the greatest musician ever, but if I didn't have the discipline to practice what I wanted to play or sing or do, then I wouldn't really be able to do it. So the discipline in devoting yourself to your foundation, I think that's part of what we're talking about here. I read something from the Lubavitcher Rebbe that I thought was also interesting. And all of these things, everything we're always talking about are truly balances, right? That today was about that every human being is a needle in God's fabric of the world. And so what is a needle? On the front end of the needle, it needs to be hard, it needs to be sharp. On the back end of the needle, it needs to have a little space of nothingness so the fabric could be made. And so as it is in the world, we should approach whatever we bond to like a needle, hard. Get in there and really bond with it. Yet at the same time, remember that we are empty in certain ways and that we as a human being are really nothing in the vast scheme of everything. That's a little bit like the thing I mentioned last week from Simcha B'Num of Shishka, which was, carrying the two pieces of paper. One says the world's created for me, the other says I'm but dust and ashes. I think that's another version of that in a way. But I think the part of it that gets me is the foundation is this kind of emptiness that's filled, and the front part, which is I would call that the gvura section, right, is the part that's hard and sharp and can enter into anything. So there's another kind of approach to gvura she beyesod. And finally, there's a last one, which is, how do you direct the bonding that happens in our lives? I remember when I was a kid, there was a boy I wanted to play with, have a play date with. We didn't call them play dates in those days. Invited him over to my house. We played that afternoon, and then he went home, and my mother said, I don't want you to play with him anymore. I'm like, why not? And she gave her reasons. He was really a wild kid who didn't have much parental supervision. And as it turned out, he indeed died early, was in an accident and became paraplegic. That was related to drugs and alcohol. And in fact, if I had bonded myself to him, I would have, let's put it this way, I don't think there would have been any way I would have been a rabbi. So in that particular case, she had the discipline for me on who I should bond with. Now, we could question whether our parents have the right to say who we should hang around with or not, but she had the insight to know that if I bonded there, that it wouldn't have been a good future for me. And so I asked the question about, have you shown discipline in the things that you bond to? The most obvious one is kind of the way I talked about it, or drug addiction, is that first moment of doing drugs. Sometimes, that's where the bonding actually takes place. And if you have discipline in what you bond with, perhaps that could save someone from getting into drugs or alcohol. But I think it's also the people that we hang with. And I don't even want to take it to the extreme of drug addiction or alcohol abuse. I would even just like to say, imagine the things that you involve yourself in, that you bond to, and whether they have a positive influence on your life. Now, I know a teenager who hasn't bonded with any social media, and I'm like, how come you haven't done that? And he replied that I haven't done it because I know I'd become addicted to it. I know that I'd spend all my time doing it. I said, that is a good reason. That's a very good reason. So instead, he devoted himself to basketball. And, hopes someday he'll play high school basketball, and a little young for that, right? Like just getting there. And then maybe sometimes some way playing in college. Now, I don't know how tall this kid's going to be, but gives you exercise, gives you coordination, it gives you a skill. Also can help you find friends because you play basketball, and all the people that play basketball are more into fitness than others that don't. I mean, there are so many positives as to why sitting there in his driveway shooting hoops every single day led him in a more positive direction than hanging out on the phone for the same amount of time in the day. And that's just an example of discipline within bonding. It's like, how do you decide what you concentrate on? And once you start to concentrate on something, can you have the discipline to say, this isn't going to enhance or improve my life in any way. It's not going to give me any personal fulfillment. So I don't know if I'm going to continue with it. Maybe that's kind of what discipline within bonding means, but it certainly is aligning yourself with things that move your life in a positive direction. It's gvura shebiyesod. It gives you a deeper foundation when your life and mind is concentrating on things that can give you uplift, positivity, Feel like you're accomplishing something, feel like you're actually doing something, feel like you're helping someone, even if that's helping yourself. So I do love the idea of having discipline in our bonding, having discipline in our foundations, tying ourselves to that foundation and tying ourselves to the generations that came before us, and concentrating on those aspects of my life and your life that can give us the most positive direction. I think that's what we're all after, is fulfillment and positivity, and to live life with love. Although today we ask for safety and blessing, I guess we also ask for a life of blessing and as well in everything that we do. Okay, let's get ourselves ready to breathe a little bit and to quiet our minds and to bring ourselves to a place of stillness and peace. And just to breathe and allow everything to be as it is, just for now. And in a moment, it may change. We may change it. But for now, we're not changing anything. We're not solving any riddles. We're not figuring anything out. We're just noticing and being for about 20 minutes. Here we go. As your thoughts begin to take you away, just a little reminder that with love and kindness, just bring yourself back to the breath again. There's no need to judge it. I know it's hard. But it's totally fine. It happens. That's what it's about. It's controlling how we can bring it back. As we approach our last 5 minutes or so together, let us ask for the first of the 3 priestly benedictions, for feelings that go with the themes there. So first we ask, may I feel safe. And the second is, may I feel blessed. May I feel blessed. May I feel safe. I think it does beg repeating, especially at this time when people are becoming vaccinated. We may still not feel safe. So this is a call to all of us. May I feel safe. Give me a way to find that way to feel it. And for each one of us, it's going to be a very different thing that helps us on that road. But we just need to ask the question, may I feel safe? May I feel blessed? Just to consider all the incredible blessings each one of us has. May I feel safe? May I feel blessed? Just say that over and over with each breath. May I feel safe? May I feel blessed? If you'd like to invite someone you know or care about to be in your mind's eye, you can offer to them. You can continue offering to yourself if you'd like. But just picture this person in front of you. Just look in their eyes. May you feel safe. May you feel blessed. May you feel blessed. May you feel safe. May you feel safe. May you feel blessed. May you feel safe. May you feel blessed. Just say it for several more breaths. And now let's just bring it back to us. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed. May I feel blessed. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed. May I feel safe. And let's just come back to the beginning and concentrate on our breath. Just be. Let your body just connect. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you were able to find some stillness and peace. May you feel blessed. May you feel safe. May you continue to think about Gvura Shebiyesod, discipline inside your bonding. And may you have a wonderful evening.